Hey, we're going through the foundational principles of what I call the deliberate millionaire path to peace and plenty. But ultimately, it is the path because I'm Rosemary Nonny Knight and I am a prosperity minister and business coach for ambitious spiritual people who are determined to thrive, to prosper, to make at least six figures whilst living in their purpose. And there are foundational principles that are required in order to do that. And that's what we're going through in this 3 day series. And I would ask you to remember these words again: connect, focus, allow. Connect, focus, allow. Connect, focus, allow. Yesterday, we went over the 3 stages of growth that most spiritual people go through. And then we talked about the what would block the connection part of things. Okay, the practical mystic was the one that was most connected and recognized, accepted themselves completely, and also recognized that they were worthy immediately of creating whatever it was, and that they needed to just stay connected to the divine ultimately. And so then we talked about connecting to the divine and the things that get in the way of that. And then I left you with a little practice on how you can connect to the divine and hear back from the divine, so that you start that process. It is at the very core of every single thing that you want to create. It is being connected to your power source. It's like if you want to run electricity through a light, it needs to be connected to the power source, or else it will run out of charge. It's just like a car, an electric car. It will run out of charge if you do not plug it in. And that's what sometimes spiritual people do, even though we should in theory know better, but we stay disconnected from source, possibly because of weird ideas that we have about the divine. And that then immediately, it doesn't matter how many law of attraction practices you try to practice, if you are not connected to source, what's going to power it up? What's going to give you the energy to actually make it come alive? So yeah, my loves, yeah. Okay, so today, however, we're looking at focus. So yesterday was connect, now focus. Because we have this love energy flowing through us from the fact that we're connected to the divine. We need that love energy to, and I'll explain this as we're going through, but before I start explaining all of that, be very present here and let's sing our affirmation together, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty talk about why it is so essential to focus. Now, let me get this up, then you can do this with me. Do you remember the song from yesterday? I am worthy, I'm worthy, I'm worthy of the best. I am enough, I'm enough, I am so loved. So let's do that, and then we'll go from there. I am worthy, I am worthy, I am worthy of the best. Yes, I am worthy, I am worthy, I am worthy of the best. Yes, I am enough, I am enough, I am enough, I am so loved. I am enough, I am enough, I am enough, I am so loved. I feel your energy flowing freely through me now, divine, dissolving any lies taken on by my ancestors or taken on by me. I am loved, I am enough, I am worthy, and I do deserve the very best of everything. From this moment forward, I choose to allow myself to accept every good thing. I choose to allow myself to create every good thing that I desire. I will no longer hold back. I see and feel you, divine, leading me, guiding me, and I follow willingly, for I know you are taking me to my next level. And I'm willing to allow you to take me there. I am worthy of empowering, loving, supportive relationships. I am worthy of radiant health. I am worthy of youthful energy. I am worthy of fulfillment in my work and play. I am worthy of a healthy, abundant bank balance. I am worthy of being paid well for what I do. I am worthy of kindness and respect. I am worthy of fun and laughter. I am worthy of a life of ease and joy. I am worthy of these things and even more good things. I am worthy, and I now choose to allow myself to enjoy the creation of these things. I am worthy. else. Yes, I am. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am so loved. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am so loved. Woohoo! You are worthy and you are so completely loved. Stay connected to the divine as we talk. Listen to this verse. This is a verse from the Bible. Unless your faith is firm, I cannot make you stand firm. Now, what I take that to mean is unless your focus, the thing that you're having faith for, it's sure, it's focused, it's firm, then nothing that God himself cannot make you stand firm. Understand this, the divine cannot, will not, will never force you to harness your power to create the life you want. You must choose to get skilled at this. This is why I'm now releasing the Manifest Miracle Money at a really discounted rate, because I really want you guys to start harnessing your power to create, okay? It's your choice. Sometimes people, especially, well, particularly religious people, get into praying and begging and pleading and hoping that, you know, the divine is just going to come and rescue them. You have all the power within you. The divine has given you the power to create wealth. It's given you the power to create whatever you desire. So the choice is yours. The thing is, the love energy that, you know, as we said, connect, focus, allow. When you connect to the divine, love energy flows through you. That love energy is kind of diffuse. It's non-specific. It's general. It can be used for anything. You are the one that has to focus it. You have to get very clear about what it is that you want, and you need to surrender to you completely. I talked about the practical mystic and how the practical mystic is surrendered completely to who they are, to their true desires. Okay, you need to surrender as well to the uncovering of your true self. Too many of us are going through life trying to be whatever we thought we had to be. Someone told us who we had to be, and we're still trying to fit into that crazy box, and then wonder why life feels uncomfortable. It's surrendering to who you actually are. It's absolutely essential if you're going to truly prosper. I mean, really think about it. Trying to fit yourself into clothes that are 2 sizes too small, or even 2 sizes too big, and then try and wondering why you feel uncomfortable, why you feel like you have to either hold it up because it's too big, or you can't quite fit into it because it's too small. And that's how most people go through life, always trying to fit themselves into boxes that other people have decided this is the way you need to go. And we just go along with it. How can you feel comfortable in life? And how do you expect to prosper if you're not even truly, fully being you? Stop resisting who you are just because you were told that maybe you weren't enough, or you've somehow taken on this idea. And you know what, to this day, it's still something I work on. As I was doing my exercising this morning, that was one of the things I was talking about with the divine, and fully accepting me. Fully accepting, because, you know, as you go deeper with the divine, as you continue to grow, there's going to be different parts of you that keep showing up. And so you accept one part of you, and then you realize, oh, I haven't accepted this other part of me. And so that's that the journey continues for sure. But it's surrendering to the uncovering completely of you, because there's no mistake about you being on this planet at this time. There is something that you are supposed to be doing. Okay, there's a difference that you're here to make, even just by being you. But you will not make that difference while you're trying to be something other than you. You can't, because all of your energy is going to go into trying to fit into the wrong box for you. Surrender to who you are instead of fighting, because that's the other thing. There's going to be your masculine and feminine energy is going to be fighting within you. And so there's this war going on. All of your energy goes to maintaining the facade of who you don't even want to be, really, when you think about it. So we need clear focus. And clear focus starts with, first and foremost, accepting you. Don't see surrender as a horrible thing, okay? Surrender, active surrender in the way that I mean it, is stop resisting your own desires. You want to figure out who you are? Start by saying yes to the things you actually want, rather than trying to force yourself to want things you do not even want because you think it makes you holier, or you think it makes you better, or you think that's what people want from you, and you're worried about what people will think of you if you decided that you were going to do this other thing over there. Come on. Stop telling yourself that you cannot have what you want. Stop thinking that the divine is holding something back from you. Stop believing that you have to do painful things in order to be a really good person or to get into heaven or to have paradise in the next life or whatever. Stop sacrificing yourself on the altar of being everybody else's savior. Stop making yourself bad for wanting what you want. Please surrender completely to you. That's the start of clear focus. Surrender completely to you. Own your true desires. That's what will lead you to your true design. That's what will lead you to your life's purpose. It is your life's purpose is always going to be around something you actually want to do. The divine is not going to force you. And in some ways, when I was brought up religious, as you know, and in some ways there was that feeling that the divine was always going to try and force me to do something that I didn't want to do, and that would be my purpose. Why do we think that? Because I'm sure I'm not the only person that used to think that. And maybe even now, you may not think that actively, but there's a part of you that still hides away from the divine, because there's a part of you that still does believe that the divine is going to demand from you something that you do not want to give. So make you do something you do not want to do, because that is what will prove that you are holy enough. Let's drop those ideas, particularly for your guys that are coming from a religious background, okay? Whether you claim to be religious yourself right now or not, you need to dump some of these ideas because they're getting in the way of you actually living the life that you're meant for. To find your purpose, it's going to be wrapped up in what you want out of life. And if you're busy telling yourself that you shouldn't want what you want because it's not good enough, guess what? You will never really truly live in your purpose. And I need you to understand something else. The reason why we're singing the affirmation, I am worthy, is because a lot of you also do not feel worthy of the things that you desire. You do feel like you haven't worked enough, you haven't done enough to earn it. You are enough. And you are worthy simply because you are. You are worthy because you are creating an image and likeness of the divine. You don't have to do anything to be worthy. You are already worthy. You are a God unit. You are already worthy. There's nothing for you to earn. There's nothing for you to prove. You simply need to decide what you want and actually back yourself. Actually back yourself and then demand that the physical reality shifts so that it manifests. Do your part. Build your faith that you can create the thing that you want. It must manifest. Success is inevitable for those who will stay focused on what it is that you have chosen to create. I am too many spiritual, religious people. We're weak sometimes. People are weak because holding faith for something, it takes a heck of a lot of courage, especially when the physical reality looks as if it's never going to move. And so it's easy to then, because I was listening to some pastor person, an actual pastor, and I just thought, I'm never going to your church, but pastor saying, that some people think that the things that they desire are going to come immediately, and that they don't realize that sometimes the promise is for the next life, and that there's no point stressing yourself out trying to hold on in faith for something that's not going to happen until the next life. And I'm just thinking, that's just a cop-out. It's a cop-out from holding your faith. It takes courage. It takes bravery to hold your faith for something when it looks as if nothing is going to ever shift. And so when you come to build a business or to live your life on purpose, when you've been living your life off purpose for God knows how long, yes, it will demand that you hold your faith for it, that you stay in the tension, the emotional tension of it. Yeah, it will feel tense at times. That doesn't mean that it's not yours to create. It just means that you need to hold on, and that there are things happening that you can't completely see right now, but you hold on. The divine isn't going to force you to, so it's up to you. It's like, unless your faith is firm, he cannot make you firm. It's up to you to finally decide, this is what I want, and I will not be moved until I see it manifest in my physical reality. It takes courage. Everybody talks about having faith and all of that, but faith, of course, how can it be faith if it's already there? What am I saying? Faith is that you have to hold on for something that you can't immediately see. And yet, when it comes to doing it, spiritual people just shirk. They go, oh no, maybe it's not the divine's will for me. Maybe I'm not supposed to be, holding on for this thing. And that's just wimpiness, okay? That's wimpiness. Yes, sometimes it feels tough. Sometimes it feels incredibly difficult to hold on for something when it really does feel as if, is it ever going to come through? But that's why I'm teaching you these things, because I need you to understand that the answer is always yes. The answer is always yes. Always. The question is, will you hold on until that yes manifests in the physical reality? Because the answer is always yes. The moment you decide that this is what I want to create, this is what I want in my life, the answer is always yes. The problem is, will you hold on until that yes manifests in the physical? So again, your manifestations are ultimately slowed down by all your stories about why it's not here yet, all your stories of why you are not quite enough yet, or by the fact that you're simply not doing anything to create it because there's a part of you that doesn't actually believe you can have it. So if you don't believe deep down that you can have something, you're not going to actually take the action to bring it to life. Or you keep jumping around, believing one moment and then not believing the next moment, and you start things and you start things and you jump to the next shiny object thing. Oh, this person is teaching something that sounds really exciting. I'll go and learn from that person, and then I'll go and learn from the other person, and I'll apply for a little bit, and then, oh my God, it didn't work in 3 days. That must mean that that's not going to work. So let's try something else. And you never, ever stays on one path long enough for anything to work. It's like these days, when I'm asking people to come into my world, I'm asking them to give it a year at least. At least. You want to come onto the Deliberate Millionaire path to peace and plenty? Give it at least a year in evolution, a year in opulence, a year in affluence. Yes, then you will see change. But everybody wants everything in like 3 days and don't realize that you're just making yourself weak when you just, I dabble at this and I dabble at that and I dabble at that. You're building doubt into your life. You're literally building doubt into your life and wondering why you never seem to achieve the things that you want because you don't stay the course. I love you guys. But sometimes I feel as if nobody's saying, or maybe they are saying and you're not hearing. I don't know. I didn't hear for a very long time. So there's definitely no judgment from me, but there's an exhortation to become courageous. It is going to take courage to hold your faith for the creation of the things that you desire. Just because they didn't happen in 3 days does not mean that they will never happen. Just because it didn't happen in 3 months doesn't mean it will never happen. Just because it didn't happen in 12 months doesn't mean it never happened. How many of you have actually held your ground for something for more than 12 months? Really? More than 2 years? More than 3 years? Have you really held your ground? Really? Or have you just jumped around? Oh, well, that didn't work. Oh, well, that didn't work. Oh, well, that didn't work. Really? And I wonder why you're in a financially restricted and unfulfilled place. It's because it's what you've chosen. You have chosen immediate gratification over the big, expansive, free, fulfilled, financially abundant life that you are capable of creating if you will hold on. It took you decades to get here, but somehow you think it should take you days, minutes to transform your whole life. Wake up. So what is your life's purpose? Your life's purpose simply is you are here on planet Earth to enjoy being here on planet Earth. You are here on planet Earth to enjoy being here on planet Earth. So the most important question you need to answer is, what do you want? What do you want? That is the most important question you could ever answer. What do you want? That's the question. If you want to know your life's purpose, as I said already, it is connected to what you desire. You're the one that decides what you desire. You decide how you want your life to look. You are literally limitless creator because you're connected to the divine, unless you choose to live a limited life. That's the thing. You're powerful enough to choose limitation or to choose a limitless existence. The choice is yours. You have all the choices. However, if you don't choose, then whatever is in your subconscious mind will choose for you. So whatever seeds other people have planted in your mind and your heart is exactly what will come through into your physical reality if you are not very deliberately choosing your life. This is why I call this the deliberate millionaire path. Live life deliberately. I lived life passively for so long where I was just allowing things to happen to me until I realized it's on me. It's on me. It's on me. And thankfully, you know what? I'm not alone. I'm, me and the divine majority. Woohoo! So, but I have to very deliberately open up to allowing the divine to work with me. Now, if you do not like the way your life is looking right now, it's because the chances are that your physical reality is simply showing you what is in your subconscious mind, what other people have planted within your subconscious mind. So again, I ask you, what do you want? What do you want? Imagine with me that within you is a garden where you can choose to plant any seeds that you desire. So as you connect and stay connected to the divine, that unconditional love energy kind of flows through you. And that love is then watering the seeds. It's giving them nutrients. It's bringing them to life. And at the perfect time, they manifest in the physical reality. And that's the way it works in simple terms, ultimately. Your subconscious mind is like a garden. You plant seeds in it. And then as love flows through you from your connection with the divine, It causes the seeds to grow and germinate and to show up in the physical reality. Simply, that's basically how manifestation works. At the perfect time, it manifests. So again, the question always is, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want to plant in your subconscious mind? What are you planting in your garden? Or what have you allowed others to plant in your garden, my loves? And remember this, stuff is stuff. Stuff is stuff is stuff. You can create material stuff like houses, cars, all of that stuff, or you can create spiritual stuff like kindness and compassion and all of that stuff. It's all stuff. Stuff, 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 stuff. Okay, I remember coming back from the gym once and the divine saying to me, stop trying to make spiritual things more important than material things. You are a divine being having a human experience. You can have both, and they're both equally important to you. And that may not be what you've been taught. You've been taught to believe that you should, go for all the qualities and try to be the most, kind and nice and lovely person on the planet. And that's what you should aim for. And that money and houses and cars, that's lower. Maybe you should have them. Great. If you're, yeah, great. But it's the kindness and the love and the joy. Now that's the stuff. It's all stuff. Okay. It's all stuff. You can have the cars and the houses and the money and the whatever, or the relationships, whatever. You can have all of the material stuff, or you can have all this spiritual stuff, and you can have both. You can have both. One is not better than the other. And I really need you to get that. Because some of you are holding yourself back from creating the material things because it's a part of you that thinks that you're being snobby about it, ultimately. Some of you all are quite snobby around money. Oh, I'm not motivated by money. Really. Everything you do is, in terms of your job, in terms of the relationship you're in, it's all because of money. But you tell yourself you're not motivated by money. Mm-hmm. Listen, one is not better than the other unless you choose to decide that they are. Again, your life's purpose. You are here on planet Earth to enjoy being here on planet Earth. So what will add to your enjoyment? And I want you, this is your exercise for today. Consider every single area of your life and get your journal out, sit with the divine and write down what you want in each area. What do you want today? Okay. You don't have to think about forever and ever and ever. Right now, what does it feel like you would want in the area of your relationships? So don't base your relationships on your current ones, because some of your current ones could be quite painful. Okay. Some of your current ones are amazing, whichever way. What would you like? What would you actually like to see happening in your relationships? How would you like your relationships to feel? What kind of relationships would you like to have? How, when you visit it with someone and you're leaving them, how would you like to feel? Yeah, so write all of that out. What kind of relationships do you like? Some of you are looking for life partners, okay? What does that look like to you? What would that feel like to you? Don't write down what you think you can have. What would you like? Not based on what you already have again. What do you choose? Because some of you all really do think that certain relationships are so sacred that you're never supposed to get rid of them. And I'm not saying we need to get rid of all our relationships, but I am saying you get to choose your relationships, okay? You get to choose your relationships, yeah? Relationships, they're so important that, frankly, you better be choosing your relationships. Because they can either make or break you. Relationships are quite powerful for determining whether somebody lives in their purpose or not. So write down, what do you want in your relationships? Write it all down. Write down in your work, what would bring you joy to do? What would you like to do? What would you love to do? How would you like to spend your day? We spend a lot of time at work. What would you like to be doing? Maybe nothing, okay? Or maybe you need to consider, after you've quit your current job and you've gone on holiday and you've chilled out for a year, what would you then like to contribute? Because for some of you, you've been in such a horrible work situation that, frankly, you can't even think about work at the moment, because it just feels like I don't ever want to do anything ever again. It's not true. As humans, we do actually want to function. We want to be functional. We want to be productive. But if you've been forcing yourself to be productive in a role that you really hate, of course, you're going to feel a bit like, basically. So think about, when you answer the question about work, try your best to consider, if I've gone on holiday and I've chilled out and I've done nothing for a year, what would I then like to contribute? What would I like my life to look like? Or to even go back in time to consider, as a child, what did you want to do before someone told you that was not going to make you money, or that's not possible for someone like you, or whatever? What would you like to do? Again, what do you want in terms of your work? Then in terms of money, how much exactly would you like to receive each and every month? Really? Some of you all get worried about writing that down because then, oh my God, how am I supposed to create that? Just write it down first. If you don't even have the courage to write it down, how are you ever going to create it? Come on, write it down first. Write it down. What would you actually like? Not what do you think you can have? What would you actually like? Okay. Health. How much would you like to weigh? How energized do you want to feel? How do you want to look? Think about that. Write that stuff down. Stuff. What material things would you like to have? What education would you like to provide for your children or for yourself? What cars, what houses, what TVs, what travel, what jewelry, what clothing? Write all of that stuff down. What would you like? What would you like? Open up. Some of you have closed down so much, and your physical reality is literally reflecting to you that restriction that is already inside of you. That part of you that has stopped dreaming because you've been disappointed so much that you don't anymore allow yourself to dream. You kind of constricted and restricted that part of you, and so your physical reality is literally showing you that you're very restricted. It's time to open up and start saying yes again. Open up to things again. What emotional, spiritual things would you like to have? Joy, peace, patience, confidence. Write that stuff down. What do you want? I want you to consider every single area of your life. What do you want? Take the time to write it down. Take the time to write it all down and feel into it. Write it all down. Now, and if you're into business stuff because you recognize that a job, the income you can create, and that can be quite limited, not always, but it can be quite limited, then I want you to consider, in terms of business, what would you like to do? What would you like to be doing each day? You may not know how to monetize it yet, but first and foremost, admit what you want. There's always a way. But first, admit what you want. Admit what you want first. It's part of surrendering completely to yourself. What do you want? So write that whole list down of all the different things that you would like to see happening in your life, all the different areas and all of that stuff. Write it down. Again, not based on what you've experienced already, but based on what you actually want. Okay, remember you can change it at will, so don't be too worried that, oh my God, if I write this down, that means I'm stuck to doing this forever. No. Today, what do you want? As you grow, it's the chances are that yes, some of the things that you desire will change, and that's okay. Some of y'all spiritual people, stop trying to be so super spiritual that you're writing down all the most holy things that you think you should want, when actually it's not what you want right now. Now, when you grow and become more mature spiritually, maybe the things you desire will change. But the only way you're going to get there is by being here and accepting who you are right now. Right now, maybe all you want is just material things. You just want money, and you just want a car, you just want a house. And that's okay. Please be where you are, not where you think you should be. Don't, allow yourself your journey. Allow yourself your journey. Accept who you are right now. Now, so write that list out. I would type it up actually and stick it in on. I have something like a drive so that you can adjust it whenever you want to. Stick pictures in there, just to demonstrate what it is that you would like to create. Stick your own picture in the middle of it as well. Say that these things are mine. Okay. And then yes, in terms of business and such, to be thinking, how would I like to help people? What would I like to do? Think of one problem that you'd like to solve for people, and how much would you like your business to bring in annually? How many hours would you like to work in that business? How much do you need to be paid each hour in order to get what you want annually? And what would be the most efficient way for you to get that going within the next 90 days? Listen, if you don't know, get help. Come and work with me in Affluence. I'll help you out, okay? But first and foremost, write down what you want, not based on what you think you can have. How many times have I said that now? Not based on what you think you can have, but what you actually freaking want, my loves, okay? Please write that stuff down. The position to hold in order to speed up manifestations is this: expect miracles, but then also act as though there are no miracles, okay? Expect miracles, but also act as though there are no miracles, okay? So that's, just bear that in mind. So you are going to, yes, you're going to write this stuff down, and yes, I'm not asking you to figure out exactly how you can do any of it. What you do need to know is that there is always one step that you can take towards something. There is always something you can do from where you are right now. There's always something you can start to do. But for today, we're talking about focus. You need to have something to focus on, or else, as I said, you'll continue to build the things that other people have decided for you should be built by you. No, focus. Okay? So your focus starts with you writing out what you want. When last did you do that? Write out what you want. Do expect miracles, but also act as though there are no miracles. So be open to seeing opportunities for your action. Yeah. Be practical and miracle minded. Okay. Okay. Start writing. Write this stuff down. And then as you go through that list that you've written down, question yourself as well, because again, a lot of you are out of the habit of really checking in with yourself as to what you want. So for each thing you've written on that list, do you really want it? Really? Not just because it's what you're supposed to have, not just because all the Joneses everywhere around you have it, not because your parents told you that this is what you should do and should want and should blah, blah, blah. None of that. Not because your pastor told you that that's what you should want. None of that stuff. Do you really want this thing that you've written down on your list? Are you truly willing to do what it takes? When I ask people, are you truly willing to do what it takes? Most people's their first thing, I'm not going to do something illegal. Nobody's asking you to do anything illegal. It's like I said earlier, are you willing to hold your faith until the things that you desire manifest? That's really what I'm asking you. You hold your faith, and in holding faith, faith is more than just writing out affirmation and praying. It's also action. As I said, be miracle minded, but also very practical. Be miracle minded, but then you act as though there are no miracles. You know you're connected to the divine, and so miracles can happen, but you also act as if you're not connected to the divine, and it's only you. And then together, things happen. It's like when I built my first successful business, when I wasn't just dabbling, it was because I was on the journey. Miracles happened whilst I was doing things. Like, it was when I was doing things that somebody will give me a house, or somebody will do this, or somebody will do that. But if I hadn't started on the journey, I would never have had the miracles. So yes, there's a step that you can take, but you can expect miracles on the journey, but only on the journey. So you expect miracles, but you also act as though there are no miracles. So are you truly willing to do what it takes? Sit with that one. Because yes, there's going to be part of you that is a bit nervous. Is it going to demand too much from me? And was it? Yeah, because I grew up reading the Bible. Okay, so I know Jesus once said, count the cost before you start building the house, because you don't want to start building it and then run out of cash or something in the middle. And in some ways, count the cost as in, am I willing to hold my ground until this thing happens? It's okay if you decide no, but then you realize that you are the one making the choice not to hold on. Because as I said earlier, the answer is always yes. The only thing we do not know is how long will it take for it to actually show up in our physical reality. So are you truly willing to do what it takes? Or are you so caught up in the desperation of your current situation that you don't realize that actually, if you keep focusing just on that, you'll keep creating more and more desperate situations. Nothing will ever change. It's as you start to see beyond your current situation to what can be. And regardless of what is happening right now, you start taking steps towards what can be, then you shift away from desperation right now. Okay. Then keep looking at your list and ask yourself, is it enough? Is this thing that I've written here enough? Or did I limit it because I thought, well, I can't have the thing I really want. I want to be a millionaire, but if I just make 60,000, that'll be fine. The thing about writing the thing you don't really want or don't really want is that you're not going to be enthusiastic about it. Okay. And for some of you, all writing the million instead of just writing the 60,000, it's rubbish. Because for some of you, you write the million because there's part of you thinking, well, it's never going to happen. I'm just writing this stuff down because Rosemary said so. Basically, so then you write a million and then you think, oh, I'm never going to do anything. It's never going to come to life. That too is you getting in your own way. What do you actually want? Write that down. Don't write less. Don't write more. What do you want? If you write less, you won't be enthusiastic enough to actually go out and get it because you don't actually want the thing you've written down. If you write too much, you'll scare yourself silly and you won't take any action. So you need to actually really check in with yourself. Is this thing that I've written exactly what I want? Is it enough? Okay. Is it enough? Is it really what I want? Then I want you to go through and write down the things that you've written down, write them in this form. I am, and I choose. So you've written bullet points of the things that you desire in each different area of your life. Now I want you to write it in the form of I am, and I choose to have $6,000 every single month. I am, and I choose now to have my life partner who is this and is that and is the other. I want you to write it that way. I am, and I choose. Let me explain why I get my clients to write it this way. I am. I am is such a powerful statement. I am. That is who the divine is. I am. And you are one with the divine. You are limitless. Every time I write, I am, I immediately inside of me realize that I am limitless. I am limitless. And out of the limitlessness that is available to me, I choose to make $6,000 every month, to make $20,000 every month, to make, or whatever it is that you're writing down. So out of all that is available to me, because everything is already yours, out of all that is available to me, I choose this thing. I am limitless and I choose this thing. And so think of the end goal that you desire and word it as though it's already done. I choose now that I am making blah, blah, blah amount of money. I choose now that I'm in a relationship with blah, blah, blah kind of person. I choose now that I weigh this amount of weight. I choose now. I am and I choose now. Okay, I want you to write your goals in that form. And I want you to really filter it down to about 10 things that you're really going to be looking at and focusing in on. Okay? And then I want you to pick one specific goal that you're going to focus on. A money goal, because we're talking about activating abundance. In this case, it's manifesting the money you need to live in your purpose. Think of a money goal. One money goal from your list. Pick one to focus on. And what I want you to do with that is write it down. We've already spoken about that. So you're writing it down every day. So you have your list that you're going over. And so at least once a week, I would say, you know what, look at it a heck of a lot more frequently, particularly at the start, because you want to start really getting into your subconscious mind this concept that I am now going for the more. I'm going for what I actually want rather than settling for what I think I can have. Okay. So look at your goals regularly. But then every day, I want you to write out a specific money goal and focus on that. Write it down numerous times. Speak it numerous times each day. Feel into it. How would it feel to have that money? Do that numerous times a day. Was it write, speak, see, feel? Visualize having that money. See it in your bank account. Feel into it. Write, speak, see, feel. Remember that. Write, speak, see, feel. Okay? That's what I want you to do. That's your goal, is pick a specific goal that you are going to focus on. And then refuse to quit until you actually see it manifested. Tomorrow we're going to be looking at how you allow this goal to come through. But that's your tasks for today I'm giving you. Write out your goals. Make sure they're actually what you want. Make sure that you've written enough. And then choose write it out so that you can look at those, but then choose a specific one that you're going to focus on creating next. Something that you want to see happen in the short-term future. Some of you all should get a copy of my Manifest Miracle Money thing, and then you'll see within 14 days that you manifest unexpected income. And then you start to see that you're actually very magnetic when you allow yourself to be. When we talk about allowing tomorrow, you'll understand what gets in the way, what the blocks get in the way, and what things accelerate the manifestation of your vision or your goals, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. But pick something. So today, write out your goals and pick something that you're going to focus on over the next, it's up to you. Ultimately, I'm not checking in with you, so it's up to you. So that you're going to focus in and you're not going to stop until you see it manifested. Tomorrow, we'll talk about how you allow your goals to be manifested as swiftly as possible. Good? You're going to do that? I would love you to message me with what you've written down as your immediate goal, and then we can agree together, because where two or more agree on anything, there is power in that. There's power in that. Okay? Okay, so that is your task for today. Write out your goals. Pick something that you're going to specifically go into. Listen to this again. Listen to this again. Make sure you listen in and listen in again. Until the next time, my loves. Go write out your goals. Until the next